What if I told you that a single dollar's worth of raw material could somehow be turned into tens of thousands of dollars? Well, today we're going to explore the real nature of value. We'll start with just a simple piece of metal that actually holds a pretty profound lesson for anyone who's interested in investing, in money, and what you choose to do with it.
All right, let's start right here. A single kilogram of iron. In its most basic, raw form, what do you think? What's it worth?
In its raw form? Well, it's worth almost nothing. Seriously, we're talking about maybe a single dollar. It's just a lump of pure potential, but as it sits there, its value is practically zero.
Okay, but now, let's say we apply just a little bit of work. If we take that exact same kilo of iron and we forge it into something useful, like, say, common nails, its value immediately jumps 5 times to $5. Same material, just a new form.
But let's keep this going. We'll add a little more precision and transform that same iron into some industrial-grade screws. All of a sudden, that same kilo is worth $20. See the pattern? More complexity, more value.
And this is where it really gets interesting. Let's apply a specific craft to it, something like blacksmithing, to make horseshoes. Now its value just leaps to somewhere between $150 and $200. That's a huge jump.
But, we are not done yet. What if we refine it with incredible microscopic precision? Turn that same iron into high-quality sewing needles, and that initial $1 is now worth $2,000. Now remember, the material itself is exactly the same. It's the skill that's changed.
And now for the final, most incredible transformation. If that very same iron is meticulously crafted into tiny, intricate little watch springs, its value skyrockets into the tens of thousands of dollars. From just $1 to this. And through that entire journey, the iron never ever changed. So this brings us to the core insight of this whole thing. The key to creating all that value wasn't the material itself, it was the transformation. The iron was the constant. What changed was the knowledge, the precision, and the work that was applied to it. You see, the essential lesson here is this. The real value is not in the material, but in the transformation. This is the secret the iron teaches us, and believe me, it applies to absolutely everything, especially your money. So let's make that connection. How does this simple little metaphor apply to the financial world, to your money, and even to really complex assets like crypto? Just think about it for a second. Simply owning a digital asset, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, is exactly like holding that raw bar of iron. The potential might be there, sure, but on its own, its value is completely untapped. It doesn't guarantee you a single thing.
And this slide really lays it out perfectly. On one side, in the physical world, you've got the raw iron, which is transformed by work and skill. And on the other side, in the financial world, you have the digital asset. So what transforms it? Well, it's your strategy, your research, your understanding of the market. That is the work, the skill that turns potential into real value.
And this distinction leads us to 2 completely different approaches, speculating versus investing. Now, on the surface, they might look kind of similar, but at their core, trust me, they are worlds apart. So on one side, you have the speculator. They're the ones chasing the hype, buying into a trend just because everyone else is, a lot of the time without even really understanding what they own. But on the other side, you have the investor. They're like the craftsman. They study, they analyze, and they operate with a clear, researched plan. And that plan is built on what we can call true value multipliers. And they aren't found in the asset itself. They are the knowledge, the research, and the strategy that you bring to the table. This is the financial craftsmanship that transforms the raw material.
So when you really stop and think about it, your financial portfolio isn't actually your most important asset. Your true asset, well, that's something else entirely.
So how do you actually apply this? Well, in the world of crypto, for example, it's not about just buying a coin. It's about really understanding the blockchain technology it's built on. It's about investigating the project's actual utility. I mean, does it solve a real-world problem? And it means analyzing the entire market, not just that one single asset. Because here's the bottom line, real investing isn't a game of luck. It's a discipline. It's about preparation and having a long-term vision. It's about deciding to be the craftsman, not just the person who happens to be holding the raw material. And that brings us right back to where we started. Just like that piece of iron, your money is the same. Its true value depends on what you know how to do with it. Your capital is your raw material. Its ultimate worth is going to be determined by the skill that you apply to it. So the final question is a pretty simple one, and it's really just for you to answer. What are you building with your iron?